square ABCD has vertices at A, 1, 2, and B, 3, negative 3. What is the slope of segment BC? So if we go to draw this on a grid, we know that point A has coordinates 1, 2, so I've plotted it here, and point B has coordinates of 3, negative 3, so I've plotted it here. Remember that slope is the change in y over the change in x, or your rise over your run. So here, segment AB is going downhill from left to right, so automatically I know that its slope is going to be negative. Then I found my change in y and my change in x. So to get from point A to point B, you go down 5, so our change in y is 5. And then you go over 2, so our change in x is 2. So the slope of segment AB is 2. Now, we do not know the coordinates of point C, but what we do know is that we're making a square. And in a square, we have 4 right angles. So if I draw in where I think point C would be, if I'm just going to try to make a square here, I know that AB and BC are perpendicular to each other, which means they intersect to form a right angle. We can use the fact that these two segments are perpendicular, to figure out the slope of segment BC, because we know that perpendicular lines have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. So if their slopes are opposite, the slope of AB is negative, so we know the slope of BC is going to be positive, because the opposite of being negative is being positive. Then, when we're talking about a reciprocal, that means we're taking our fraction and we are flipping it. So like if we had 1/3, the reciprocal of 1/3 would be 3 over 1. If we had 4/7, oops, I don't know what I just did there. If we had 4/7, the reciprocal of 4/7 is 7 over 4. And then if we wanted to turn these into opposite reciprocals, since 1/3 is positive, the opposite reciprocal would be negative 3 over 1. Since 4/7 is positive, the opposite reciprocal would be negative 7 over 4. So again, if we look here, if our slope is negative 5 over 2, the opposite reciprocal would be positive 2 over 5. And that is the slope of segment BC.